For an old school guy to have a son who's now converted to Islam, everyone can do what they want. But what was your initial reaction to that?
Well, I spoke to Alfie before he converted, and we spoke about it a couple of days beforehand. And I said, "Is this what you want to do?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "He said it is." I said, "Okay. Well, if you feel that's the right choice, no problem." He said, "What's your view?" I said, "It isn't religion that makes a good person." I said, "It's the person that makes a good religion." I said, "There are bad people in all religions." Do I think it's helped Alfie? Answer, no. Do I think it's made him worse? No. But what I do think it has given him is a guideline to help him pull things out of the Quran and work along that religion. So is it a good thing? So far. There's as many bad Muslims as what there are bad Christians, bad Catholics, bad Hindus. How do I know? It's because I've worked with Muslims. My MD is a Muslim. I'm as close to him as anybody. So it's not the religion that makes the person. It's the person that makes the religion. Good person's a good person. A bad person's a bad person. That's it.
Did you, being from the traveller background, I think I mentioned to you before, I box. I've had 16 boxing fights. My last one was last year. And if you're in the boxing world, pro, or you're doing amateur, you're going to come across travellers because they're very good boxers and they're great. And it's really, really good and sometimes tough and frightening to spar against them. And one thing I said to you last time on the podcast is there's a couple of elements, a couple of characteristics and traits travellers got from my perspective. They're loyal. They've got great culture. They're hard nut people. They work really, really hard. But was it a bit of a shock when they found out that Alfie Best Jr. had been converted to Muslim? Was there a bit of an uproar? And did you get some of that backlash?
Listen, you're always going to get a few haters. Always. Anybody with an open mind would embrace why someone's done it. So there was a lot of people that genuinely supported Alfie. And I've got a fantastic partner that I'm working with in another business. Actually, two partners, to be fair. And it was unbelievable the support that they showed. They're from the travelling background. They're devout Catholics. But when somebody tried to have a little sly dig, they go, "Look, hold on. It's not for me becoming a Muslim. But what difference does it make? You should be supporting him on his journey. You don't know what space he's in." And I thought that was quite prevalent, especially coming from a real hard, background of where they were from. So I was you get to really see, and I did, you get to see the people that are for you and the people that are against you. It's actually quite a nice thing.
I touched on this last time, but I'm going to slightly do a different variation of the question. So travellers, they've got this get on with it mentality, which again I love, and I think more and more people, especially younger people today, need to do that because they look at people on social media and they want it tomorrow. And unfortunately, some of them go down the wrong path to get it tomorrow, and they end up doing the wrong thing. I think if you're dedicated and you've got this positive mindset, you set goals and ambitions, and you have a great team around you, you can achieve anything. Are travellers natural entrepreneurs and hustlers?
Absolutely. If I was on a desert island or in a country just dropped there, I'd want a traveller up the side of me because we survive and thrive. And that's a fact. These are our strengths. We're loyal. We believe in our families and support them. If you bleed, they will bleed, and they will bleed with you. They won't run for the hills. They will have your back no matter what. That's a fact. Don't get me wrong, there are good and bad, but 90%, we are the most underappreciated race of people that is in existence. And I'll prove it. Tyson Fury was hated. Billy Joe Saunders. They never got the recognition that they should be. How do I know? I don't see any Nike sponsoring Tyson. I don't see Under Armour sponsoring Tyson. Whereas, forgive me for saying this, but Anthony Joshua had all of those sponsors. Now that, to me, speaks realms. Whereas I actually think Tyson Fury is pretty much he's certainly the greatest heavyweight Britain has ever produced. And I think he has the chance to be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I really do. Is he there yet? Look, he's well on his way. You've got other gypsies. Charlie Chaplin, Yul Brynner, Elvis Presley, Mother Teresa. And here's one most people don't know. President Bush. All came from gypsies. But did they celebrate it? You don't hear Michael Caine or Bob Hoskins celebrating that they were from the gypsy community. Why? Because of the stigma that's just attached to it. So I'm pretty well, as a businessman, the only gypsy that came out and kicked the door down and said, love me or hate me, this is what I am. And I have things, I've had things text to me on social media. How can you celebrate liars, cheats and thieves? And, on some of them, I'll send a reply back if I feel like it. And on this one I did. I said, thank you. But when you're poor, starving, you'll do anything to survive. Most of you gorgers, I couldn't help myself, I apologise. Most of you gorgers would do the same. Because when you're on your knees, you'll do anything to get up. In the film Alive, where the plane crashes, people turn to cannibals, eating each other to survive. You'll be surprised to do what you have to do. So when we criticise people and stereotype them, they're not helping themselves, because what they're not doing is giving those people a chance to actually shine.